In this universe, stars don't just shine, they flavor the sweet universe. And one corruption is quietly draining. So, welcome to the sweet galaxy. This is Brownies versus Donuts. I am building a science fantasy universe where flavor is power. And this is where it begins. What this is a science fantasy universe that is powered by flavor and essence, which I will explain a little bit right now and then more in other videos. This essence and flavor affects stars' biology, culture, density, as well as brownies themselves, donuts, and other beings in this sweet universe. That this flavor and essence helps them evolve in this universe, in this sweet universe. So here's the thing: it is whimsical, it is a little bit, sweet, but it's just on the surface. That's just on the surface. This universe is going to have real stakes, real loss, real corruption, and real consequences, right? So I'm not just creating something that is, a cartoonish type of thing. This is actually going to be, it's going to feel real. What I'm doing here is I'm going to be writing a trilogy. I'm going to be writing a 3-series book where it's going to be brownies versus donuts, and you're going to have to see what's all that all about. But what I want to create is I want to create a public journey, right? I've had this amazing idea in my head, this book that I've been wanting to create for a very long time. And I said one day, I'm just going to go ahead and start doing it. And as I started to create the universe, as I started to create the rules and the stars, the biology, the culture, it started to grow and evolve. And then it hit me that, hey, this is something that's fun for me. I'm having so much fun creating this every day that I just wanted to say, I'm going to invite people into this journey. I want to invite you into this journey. I want you to see what's going on, right? But most importantly, what I want to create is make it interactive. I want to be able to get as many people as involved in this journey as possible, right? Their ideas, what we can do. Because here's the thing. So every time I read a book or watch a movie, I always have questions, right? Especially when it's science fiction or something. There's things that just don't make sense, right? They contradict with each other, right? Things that you see. I don't want to mention any big movies or anything like that, but you'll see a character in one of the books or one of the movies, and then they'll do, like how it all got started, and that character's there, but yet how come when you go back to these early years, that characters, they don't remember that character, or that personality or something, right? So there's contradictions and all these things, right? And it's because as I started to as I started this journey and I started to learn more, what I started to find out is that most of the authors and people who create movies basically have an idea just like me, right? And they start writing and they start creating and they kind of have an idea of what it is, but they create, they say, a trilogy, right? But then they don't create the whole thing at one time, right? They'll create one book and it might be successful there, so they're like, hey, let's create the next one, right? This is why there's a lot of movies where you have the first one and it's, oh my gosh, it's amazing, and then when they create the second one, it's not as amazing, and then when they create the third one, it's just like, huh, man, they're just pushing it, right? They're just kind of pushing it, and then if create something different, like like a prequel, like if they create a prequel, that's even worse sometimes, right? You just thinking, man, these guys are just making this stuff up, right? These people are just making these things up, right? Which they are, right? If they are, we all are. But what I always wanted to do is like, can there be something done where we can just eliminate as many of those things as possible, right? So as I'm creating this universe, there's a lot of contradictions that I'm having. There's a lot, and I'm gonna share with you some of those contradictions, and we're gonna hit other contradictions as we're building and I'm writing these books publicly now with you, and we're gonna hit these contradictions, and I want your help, right? And saying, hey, questioning. But what's gonna happen is that here's a little bit of a trick though. I'm not gonna be sharing spoilers in these videos, right? So I'm gonna be sharing the how I'm creating the universes, the laws, some of the, you know, I'm gonna I'm gonna be sharing some of the characters that I'm creating, but I can't spoil things for you, right? Because I already created these what I think are pretty cool, amazing endings to some of these books, right? And I just don't want to spoil it. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. I think you're gonna enjoy the surprise and the anticipation to that. So, but I do want to involve you in this journey. So, if this is a kind of journey that excites you, then follow us. This is gonna be the board where I'm gonna be drawing things, creating some ideas. Right now, there's not a lot of action in this board because I just kind of wanted to introduce myself to you and this universe. Some of the stuff that we're gonna be covering in these videos are gonna be the different types of suns, the different types of energies and essences that these suns create, how these suns are affecting the planets around those sun systems, how they evolve the creatures and brownies and donuts and everybody in these planets, how they're and why they're evolving differently in each of these planets, right? I'm going to be sharing the ways I'm creating these characters, these the sun systems, the world, the positioning of it, right, from start to finish. So it's going to be a fun journey. So if you want to explore this galaxy with me and join the journey, because new worlds are coming, this journey is still forming and you're early.